Glacier Bay is, I'd rather paraphrase John Muir, who every time he finished writing one of his articles about what he was seeing in Alaska, he always finished with go and see for yourself. It's just so phenomenally beautiful. And there are very few places in the world like it. Glacier Bay. It was first seen by Captain Vancouver back in the late 1790s, and at that point the ice was so far along the Glacier Bay area that he never got in to see Glacier Bay because all he saw was a wall of ice, and he sailed past it. It was kind of like, oh, nothing there, just ice, let's go on. But if you're up bright and early in order to see the entrance into Glacier Bay, at the point where the rangers from the national park join us, that is about as far as Captain Vancouver ever got.
We have sailed into the heart of Glacier Bay today, Glacier Bay National Park. Not just a national park, but also a World Heritage Site. Part of the largest World Heritage Site on the planet.
That's one of the things I like about Glacier Bay, is that it is so much more of an environment than some of the other glaciers are. In Glacier Bay, you've got islands and other little bays that go off of it. The Johns Hopkins Glacier is off of a point called Jaw Point, and during the month of June, we're not even allowed to go there because that's where so many of the seals are giving birth to their pups.
Glacier Bay is a park that's preserved because a glacier, the Grand Pacific Glacier, just 250 years ago pushed its way out into the sea and then began a spectacular retreat all the way to the Canadian border. And because it had reached the ocean, the waves of the ocean followed and chased at the heels of this retreating glacier, and we are able to sail right into the heart of a mountain range. And not just any mountain range, this is the tallest coastal mountain range on the continent, the Fairweather Mountains. And it's because of their height and their proximity to the ocean. They're right next to these warm currents that bring in all of this moisture following around us, and their height combs out all of that moisture in the form of snow, and that snow makes ice. And that ice not only comes down the mountain, but also makes its way to the sea, where we can see it very clearly and up close and personal. I'm a park ranger and naturalist here at Glacier Bay. We call ourselves interpretive rangers. There are lots of different types of rangers. There are law enforcement rangers, of course, that protect our places. There are research rangers, maintenance rangers. Interpretive rangers get to meet the thousands of people that visit our park from all over the world. Glacier Bay is a very interesting park because it is a little isolated. We have about 500,000 visitors that reach our park every year. Less than 10% of those visitors ever set foot in Glacier Bay. Most of our visitors come in on cruise ships like the Dawn Princess.
Marjorie is one of the larger glaciers that we have, and its source of food is actually the Fairweather Mountains behind it. The John Hopkins, the Marjorie, and the Grand Pacific Glacier are all fed by various parts of the Fairweather Mountains. Glacial calving is a tremendously noisy and dramatic event because you have the sounds leading up to it and then that sharp crack as it actually pulls away from the rest of the glacier. And then depending on where it falls from the glacier, if it comes from the top, then it will plummet a great distance down into the water, so you get this tremendous splash and whoosh, and you can actually see the waves created from it.
Glacier Bay National Park is a very lucky place because it has advancing glaciers. It's kind of interesting to think about glaciers producing ice in a warming world. It's kind of interesting to think about a warming world in this really cold, misty weather right now. I remember rescuing a small boy who was stuck in some silt, which is this really murky, sticky mud right in the face of a glacier. And I pulled him as he was sinking. That was pretty fun.
It is so cool. That's such a 70s word, but there are some things in life that almost defy description.
Glacier Bay, to me, in a word, is hope. And I know that might sound very touchy-feely or a bit odd to some people, but there are so few places like this on our planet anymore, especially places that we can reach relatively easily. I realized how vital these places are to me.